Welcome you all. I am Chamali Sandunika, fourth year student of Department of Language and Communication Studies. Chamali campus, Eastern University, Sri Lanka. Before begin this presentation, I get this time as an opportunity to express my deep gratitude to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Rohan Savarmuthu, senior lecturer in English, for giving this valuable platform for us. So, without any delay, let's start our presentation. So, our topic is The Figure a Poem Makes by Robert Frost. So, let's move to our substance. Here, first I'm going to talk about the author Robert Frost, then context and background of this essay, then purpose of the essay, then author's main argument, then key points of the essay. Under this analysis part, I selected some key points as uniqueness of poems, sound and meaning, context and variety, emotional resonance, originality and freshness, finally conclusion. So, as being language students, we all are familiar with this poet as Robert Lee Frost. He was born March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California. Robert Frost is a modern 20th century an American poet and four-time Pulitzer Prize winner in poetry. He named Poet Laureate of Vermont in 1961, and he received honorary degrees from 44 colleges. Another notable achievement of Frost's life is he is the first poet to recite a poem at the US presidential inauguration. And he's equal to Wordsworth of England. So let's see what are the major works that have done by Robert Frost. So Mountain Interval, New Hampshire, West Running Brook, A Witness Tree are some of his notable collections. When we talk about poems, his most among his most well-known poems, some of them are The Road Not Taken, Stopping by Woods on a Snow Evening, Mountain Wall, then Fire and Ice, Out, Birches, Home Burial are some of these poems. So in this way, he has published 10 collections of poetry in his lifetime, totaling over 250 poems. So by now we have learned most of these poems. When we talk about the prominent characteristics of his poetry, some of prominent characteristics are simplicity, clarity, realism, dramatic quality are some of them. When we talk about the themes or subject matter that he uses for his poetry, some major themes are human love, then everyday life, isolation, mortality, self-struggle, self-realization are some themes that he covers in his poetry. Then we'll see Frost's significance in American poetry. Yeah, he was known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. His work explored complex social and philosophical themes. Though he born in California, his closely associated with New England, where he spent much of his life. So that landscape and rural life heavily influenced in Frost poetry. Then he was a key figure in American literature, connecting 19th century poetic traditions with the modernist trends of the 20th century. These are about Frost significance. So then we move to our essay, The Figure a Poem Makes. So we want to know about, first we want to know about the context and background here. So, The Figure a Poem Makes was written by Robert Frost in 1939 as a preface to his collected poems. As I told earlier, he has written a collection of poems, so this essay is a preface to his collected poems. This essay talks about his own perception of how a poem should be and how people should view a poem. This essay reflects Frost's thoughts on the nature and purpose of poetry. So there are some purposes of writing this essay. One is to articulate Frost's philosophy of poetry. Then to explore the creative process and the qualities that make a poem effective and meaningful. So, qualities like emotional resonance, clarity, originality, then form and structure, rhythm. So, how these qualities how these qualities help to make the poem effective, to make the poem meaningful. So, he wants to explore this. Then, to contrast the poetic process with other forms of knowledge and logic. He emphasizes that poetry's value lie in its ability to capture and convey human experience in a unique, resonant way that distinct from scientific or logical methods. So these are the purposes of writing this essay. Then we move to author's main argument. First, main argument of writing of this essay. Each poem should be unique enough to be distinguished from one another, and they should not only be made in order to entertain the readers, but to give them wisdom. Frost says that creation of poem should be a unique process driven by genuine emotion and surprise. So you can see the quote here. Poems should begin in delight and end in wisdom. It means poem should start with the feeling of joy and interest. And by the end, the poem should leave you something meaningful. Poem should leave you something meaningful or wise to think about. This is the main argument of Robert Frost here. Then we move to analysis part here. I selected some key points as the first point here is uniqueness of poems. So poems should stand out from one another, showcasing the poet's versatility and creativity. It means process that each poem should have its own distinct sound and character. The uniqueness comes from various elements like tone, subject matter, and structure. While traditional forms and meters are important, they should not confine the poet. It means traditional forms and meters in poetry are like rules or patterns that poets have used for a long time. Uh, these traditional forms and meters can be helpful, but poets should not feel restricted by them. So, Frost encourages poets to explore new ways of expression within the constraints of meter and form to avoid monotony. Then you can see here the quote. The object in writing poetry is to make all poems sound as different as possible from each other. It means the goal of writing poetry is to ensure that each poem has its own distinct sound and style, making them all distinct from one another. So, this is the thing that Frost wants to talk about under the uniqueness of poem. Then we move to sound and meaning. Sound is the first element of the poem. Out of raw materials like vowels, consonants, then syntax, rhythm, sound is the most important element. Sound alone can make the poem meaningful. Sound enhances the reader's experience, bringing musical quality to the poem. Uh, Sound is not merely an added feature, it blends seamlessly with the poem's meaning to create a unified and complete work. Sound is not just an extra feature, it mixes perfectly with the poem's meaning to form a whole and a complete piece. So, the rhythm and rhyme and musicality of a poem can intensify its emotional impact and intellectual depth. He says in this essay, the sound is the gold in the ore. It means sound of words in a poem is very valuable, just like gold found in rock. So, sound makes the poem special and important. Frost believes sound and meaning should be balanced in a poem, with neither being more important than the other. Our next key point is context and variety. So, what is mean by context? Context means background information surrounding a poem that helps readers understanding its meaning, themes, and setting. So, context and subject matter are crucial elements in differentiating one poem from another. Frost believes that using various themes and settings helps avoid monotony and keeps poetry fresh. When we take Robert Frost's most well-known poems as Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Mending Wall, then Road Not Taken. In these poems, you can identify poet uses various themes and various subject matters. So in the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, that setting is a quiet snowy evening in the woods. And subject matter is the contemplation and life journey. Then in the poem The Road Not Taken, setting is a traveler deciding between two paths in a forest. Then subject matter is choices and their impact on life. Then in a Mending Wall poem, the setting is neighbors repairing a wall between their properties. So boundaries and human relationships are the subject matter. So in this way, different contexts and subjects create unique poetic experiences. So in this quote, previous slide, we need the help of context. We need the help of context, meaning subject matter. So uh, it highlights context and subject matters contribute to the uniqueness of each poem. So this is about context and variety. Then we move to next key point, emotional resonance. So emotional resonance refers to the deep emotional impact that a poem has on both the writer and the reader. Whatever emotion in the poet, that become the emotion of the audience. So the success of the lies in making his emotions become emotions of the audience as well. So to achieve this effect in poetry, the poet has to be given complete freedom. He should be free from bias of religion, bias from society, then gender, then politics. This emotional resonance uh, makes the poem memorable and meaningful rather than just a collection of words. Um, the emotions conveyed in a poem must be authentic and come from the poet's true feelings. In this quote, no tears in the writer, no tears in the reader, no surprise for the writer, no surprise for the reader. So this quote highlights uh, that the poet's emotional experience is directly tied to a reader's emotional experience. So this is about emotional resonance. Then we move to next one, originality and freshness. Uh, a poem must be original and bring a fresh perspective. It means poem should not become rotten. It should always have the freshness. The originality of the poem assign freshness of the poem. Freshness of the poem that readers will never get tired of reading such a beautiful poem. And in this essay, he says even reading it for 100 times, even in 100 reading, the readers can find a meaning if a poem is original. So, freshness ensures that each poem is a unique creations, not merely a repetition of old themes or forms. A poem should reflect the poet's individual experience and insights, adding to its distinctness. In this quote, you can clearly understand this point. Uh, the figure is the same as for love, like a piece of ice on a hot stove. The poem must write on its own melting. It means uh, just like ice melts and changes when it touches something hot. A poem should evolve naturally and keep moving forward on its own. So this is about originality and freshness. Then I am going to sum up this Robert Frost essay. The figure poem makes talks about his own perception of how a poem should be and um, how people should view a poem. So the poem should help readers realize something they already knew, but hadn't fully understood before. Then Robert Frost advises that a poem should start with delight and ends with wisdom, surprising both the reader and the poet. He emphasizes the importance of balancing sound and sound and meaning, and encourage poets to keep their work fresh and original. Uh, at the end, he asserted that he says poems are eternal, and they will forever bear with wisdom and truth. So, this is all about Frost essay. If you are interested in writing poetry, uh, I believe this preface, the figure a poem makes, will surely beneficial for you. So you can study this. So thank you everyone for being here and allocate your time with me. Thank you very much.